Yes. We are back. We're back in our normal surroundings. Look at this. This is very nice, isn't it? Nice and clear audio, bro. No echo.
How you doing, guys? Hope you're doing well. Today's stream is on Erling Haaland. He's getting his debut and a goal yesterday. And a little bit of a recap over the last two matches. Obviously, that is it. That is pre-season done and dusted. Unfortunately, that is just the way it is. You know what I mean? Only 2 games for City in this pre-season. We move on to Liverpool next weekend. Will there be a game behind closed doors? Who actually knows? I don't know.
Bro.
But we'll get into it. But LB Mikey just said, I kind of knew this would happen, bro. To be fair, I don't
How, bro?
I don't know.
I jinxed it by just saying that, then, didn't I?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Speak now.
Yo.
Yeah, you started.
Yo, can you hear me now?
There you go.
Right, sick deal.
It's because we swapped the things last night.
We swapped it. Right, buzzing. Yeah, we're going to speak about Erling Haaland, guys, and then a recap of the pre-season. Obviously, it was only 2 games. Liverpool next weekend. Will they fit in a game in this week? Because we do have a week off, and this is something that's confused me a little bit. Now, has there been any news on when City are flying back? Sports, obviously, Big Steve yesterday was under the impression that City were flying back today.
Well, that's what he said. He said that, obviously, he's heard that, and I seen people in the chat yesterday saying the same thing. So I don't know where people are actually getting this information from, but apparently it is a thing that, yeah, it's we're flying back today. Matthew W just put that in the chat there. Matthew W says flying back today. So then people, but then John Roller said last night.
Yeah.
So I think there's a mix of when they're flying back, but it's, do you know what I mean? It's basically today. They will be back today.
So that leaves us a whole week. You know what I mean? We don't play Liverpool until next Saturday, and I just feel like, come on, like we've had 2 games, right? And I just feel like you've got a whole week now. Surely we could play a game on like Tuesday or Wednesday, even if it's just like another 30 minutes a half or 40 minutes a half behind closed doors, whatever. I just feel like it's a bit risky, man. Because you know what? Like I want to beat Liverpool. Yeah, I want to win the Community Shield, but I'm more bothered about West Ham away. That's going to be so tricky, and West Ham have had a lot of pre-season games. I
think for me, the whole thing of maybe there being a behind the doors pre-season game, I think that's, I don't want to say likely because I don't actually know. Do you know what I mean? But it looks like something that could happen. It's something that it's an option for City to do. Like I say, we have only had 2 pre-season games, which isn't the best, but I like the fact that last night was a very high intense game, with a lot of pressing, because the last thing that we needed is to rock up yesterday, buy and play a weak inside. We kind of play a little bit of a stronger side, and then basically it's just a chiller for City. All like both teams are just like, do you know what I mean, not at it. Whereas now last night they both went for it.
Yeah, no, it was good intensity, and City did look fit, but at the same time, that was only Bayern's second game as well, so we was on the same level. West Ham, by the time they played City, would have played 7 matches. 7. By the time West Ham plays City, they would have played 7 matches. City would have played 3. So it's going to be very, very interesting. That opening day of the season, I think we all just need to be prepared that it might not go perfectly well, you know what I'm saying? And then we just got to hope that the games after that, we've got Bournemouth, Newcastle, Palace, Forest, Villa. So they're winnable fixtures. So we just got to hope that after West Ham, if it does go wrong, then we just get the wins after that.
The thing is, the West Ham game worries me a lot because we know how good West Ham can be, especially away from home. So it's not an easy start for City at all. West Ham will be knackered, Neil says. I mean, they have played a lot of games, but that means that their fitness levels should be up there, whereas some of our players might not be in the best in fitness shape. But, do you know what I mean? I think we'll know at the Community Shield what kind of level we're at.
True.
Because, do you know what I mean? Liverpool go ham.
And I guess, so some would argue it's quality over quantity. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at West Ham's fixtures, yeah? So they played 7. These are their 7, right? So they played a team called Servette. I've never heard of them. They played Boreham Wood, Ipswich Town, Reading, Rangers, Luton Town, and Lens. We're playing, obviously, Club America, which is probably the least one, but it was still an intense game. Bayern Munich and Liverpool. So, they're all saying, quality over quantity could come into play there. So it's going to be interesting anyway to see how it comes up, but it's just something that I've noted. Got a couple of chats here that have come in. We got membership from Carl. Yes, I appreciate the message there, Carl. And then he comes in with a 449 and just goes Haaland. Yes, bro. Obviously coming in, and we're going to talk about him in just a sec. KDB is the greatest player of all time. Says 449. Says Chelsea fans want Tuchel sacked. Chelsea got beat 4-0 off Arsenal yesterday. Gabriel Jesus got a nice goal. Odegaard, Saka and Lokonga getting the final goals there as well. And I'm telling you now, Arsenal looking decent, and I do worry a little bit for Chelsea. They're a little bit in a weird situation. Remember, our season predictions will be coming very soon. So what we might do, we'll do them after the Liverpool game, because then that's like the final game before the season starts, and then we'll give you our pre-season predictions. Guys, now we're going to speak about Haaland. Before we do, please make sure you drop a like on the stream. We've currently got over 600 people in the stream, 181 likes. Let's see if we can get those likes up to 250. So please make sure you smash that thumbs up button, guys, and get us to 250. Massive shout out to the guys at Manscaped as well. They sponsored today's stream. If you've got a hairy bush below the waist, guys, you need a solution, go check out manscaped.com. Use code Xtra20 for 20% off and free shipping. I'll play an ad in just a few moments time. And Isa, with a membership for a year, says, missed the game yesterday. How was Haaland? Haaland was class, and that's a perfect way to move on to Erling Haaland. Did make his debut yesterday, played the first half before being substituted off for Julian Alvarez. Guys, let us know in the chat, what did you think about Haaland, bro? What are you saying?
He was sick. He's been. He's been. Got his first goal for us. It was mad because we've seen things that I didn't expect to see from Haaland, like dropping deep in that, and things that people said that he won't be able to do. I mean, people say that his build-up plays arse, whereas it looked good yesterday. And Carl R with a knock 50 there said that Haaland said he wasn't 100% fit yet. Here we go. Yeah. So I mean, he's clearly going to get better, and he's already scored in 10 minutes of a football match. Do you know what I mean? And then even the rest of it, he was decent. Obviously, there was a time when he was running in, and Alvarez was on the other side, and he kind of got caught up with two minds. He didn't know what to do, whether to pass or shoot. And I think that's because in his head, he knows that he should be shooting it. But the Dortmund of that, he's running through and shooting there, but the whole thing of the way that we play football is probably thinking, I should probably pass it. Do you know what I mean? Being the new guy, I should probably pass to Mars here. But he got caught in two minds. You could see because he kept looking over and looking forward. And obviously by the time he got there, he and the chance already gone. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed from what we've seen. We've only seen one match of him, so it's hard to say too much. We've only seen half of him. But I'm absolutely buzzing. Just to see him in the team. It feels like it doesn't feel real, because you can already see that the difference it has on our creative players. The ability of, like, when Kev's got the ball, he knows that he can look up and Haaland's in the box. Mm-hmm. We have that. And then the defenders getting pressured all the time into making mistakes. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, we did press in that, but it's different when you've got a striker's presence there. I think it just adds a different element to the game, and I think we're going to show why we've missed a striker with Haaland in the team.
Yeah, you're right. And obviously, when we do press, and even without a striker, we still press. So this isn't a new thing. But once we win the ball high up the pitch, we actually have a target to aim for. Whereas if you think maybe last year or the year before when Aguero was injured, if we pressed high up the pitch and won the ball, usually, and not all the time, but usually, there'd be no one in the box because the false nine would drop deep. You know what I mean, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So this now, it's going to allow us, so when we win the ball, we can get that ball straight into Erling Haaland if he's available, and he's going to be able to, isolate a defender one-on-one and try and get a shot away. And obviously yesterday, the goal that he scored, very simple, but everything worked out well because he was in the right place at the right time because he's a striker, you know what I mean? And people, what you see on especially on social media, is people disrespect these type of tapping goals, but you have to know where to be. You have to know when to make the run at the right time. And at the end of the day, if it was so easy, why are other players scoring 20 goals, tap-ins a season? It's because it's not actually as easy as people make out. Kevin De Bruyne, obviously on the edge of the box, really well to win the ball. Brilliant pass to Grealish, who took it around his man excellently.
Grealish's first touch was insane. Grealish's first touch was incredible.
Yeah, and he's going to bring... And Haaland will bring the best out of the other players in the squad. Make no doubt about that. You know what I mean? Grealish will improve, Kevin will improve, Mahrez will improve. You know what I mean? All through having a striker in the box, and it's just going to be really interesting to see what goes on now with Haaland. Now, how well can he go? How long will it take him to get fully fit? Obviously, he's not fully fit, as Carl said, and we know he's not fully fit because he got subbed off after 45 minutes. How long will he play against Liverpool before eventually we see like a 90-minute driller from Erling Haaland, bro?
The thing is, he's seemingly like just fitted into the setup. Do you know what I mean? Like there doesn't seem to be like an embedding period of like, say, personality wise, they all love him kind of thing. He seems to be a very big presence and everyone's getting on. I seen like I think I see Xtra today saying about how basically they've all like bonded really well with Erling Haaland in the team. Which is good, do you know what I mean, for the squad harmony and that. And it like Jack Grealish and that speaking about him, everyone who's speaking about Erling Haaland has high praises about him, do you know what I mean, the way he's training and stuff like that. Saying that pretty much is a beast. And you seen yesterday his link up play with Jack. There was a time when they did like a little 1-2 kind of thing, and then like, do you know what I mean, and that was sick. And I feel like you're gonna see more than just Haaland bagging goals. He's gonna fit in really well into this side. I can just feel it. I just know that all these people who've written him off before the season started, who comparing him to Nunes and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean, like basically saying like, oh nah, this is level. Like he's gonna struggle in this Pep side. Pep can't work with a striker. I feel like all these people are gonna get proven wrong, bro. I think he's gonna bag.
Yeah, well, this is interesting because of course I've just mentioned the fact that he's gonna bring the best out of the players around him, but the players around him will bring the best out of him.
Bring the best out of him, yeah.
So it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
We really don't know how good Erling Haaland can become this season. How high can his ceiling go? You know what I'm saying? Because he could absolutely slam. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to flop. I think he's going to score goals. I think he'll get in the Premier League minimum 20 goals, right? But how high can he go? Can he get 30 goals? Can he get 35 goals? Can he hit Ronaldo numbers when he was at United back in the day and hit 40 plus goals? It's really sort of interesting to see how good can Erling Haaland become in this Manchester City side. And if he does start hitting silly numbers, then we should really be walking away with this league, regardless of how good Liverpool are this season. If he hits silly numbers, which he has it in his locker to do, especially with the players around him, we should really walk away with this league. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get on here. So let's go through some of these chats that have come in. Richard, thanks a lot for upgrading to the Tier 2 membership. Remember, guys, Xtra Club members, we are getting rid of Tier 3 and Tier 1, so there's only going to be Tier 2. Yeah, so make sure if you are Tier 1 or Tier 3, make sure you change it to Tier 2.
Yeah,
thanks,
so
Richard.
For people that don't know, like, we are fully, like, changing the membership in it properly. Like, we've never said this on stream before, and it's always just, like, Lewis did a community post, so if you want to go to community post, that's probably the best place to go for it. But, yeah, Tier 1 and Tier 3 are getting dusted. Tier 2 is the only tier that's staying. It's going to get renamed once everyone's like moved over kind of thing, and that's going to be the way forward with the Xtra Club, so that everyone can be involved in everything rather than being separate tiers.
Yeah, Cameron Smith says, Jack Grealish has been mint. He was begging for a strike. I cannot wait to see the season Jack is going to put together. Correct. I'm really excited as well. Really good game yesterday. Sean says, City normally do well on the first game. Yeah, I know, but with 2 games in pre-season, third including Liverpool against a team that's played 7 and West Ham away. Are you still confident, Sean? It's an interesting one. We'll have to wait and see how that game pans out.
The thing is, we didn't have a pre-season last year, and we're still... I mean, I guess, what was our first game last year? Tottenham.
We did. We played a few games because we played Blackpool.
Oh, it was just I know. Yeah. I'm thinking of
we didn't go abroad. But
abroad pre-seasons, innit? That's what it is. That's what it is.
Joseph says, you lads seen Haaland telling Grealish, that's why I'm here in the tunnel during half time. Yeah,
I've not actually seen that.
Yeah, it's really good because obviously it's clear to say, and you said it a moment ago, that Haaland and Grealish clearly already have a really, really good relationship, you know, and Grealish and Haaland were talking in the tunnel quite a lot yesterday on the way off the pitch.
When Haaland scored, Grealish jumped on him.
Yeah, so clearly they're getting on well, and that's what you want to see. And, you know, Jack Grealish, if we can get the best out of Jack Grealish, we have some player on our hands because he is a top talent.
Did you see what Haaland said about Jack? He said that Jack needs to improve. He was like, Jack needs to improve, and so do I. So it's very clear they're both like on the same level of, yeah, we're going to improve kind of thing. And it looks like they're both like togetherness in this. Do you know what I mean? I like it.
Mm-hmm. KDB says, KDB and Grealish and Haaland, lots of fire and love art emojis. Yes, bro. And Senosi Arsenosai says, can someone punch Mahrez in the face and tell him to cross the ball quicker? He slows down the unnecessarily sometimes. Well, no.
I think that's because he's not right-footed.
Correct. No one's going to punch him in the face, bro, because that's not his game. And this is why we've been asking for a right-footed right winger for all transfer window. So that example yesterday of the probably one that you was on about when he cut inside, that's not Mahrez's fault. That's because that's Riyad Mahrez. If you want someone to put the ball in quicker on the transition, you need to get a right-sided, right-footed player. And that's what we've been asking for all season. So you can't blame Mahrez. You got to blame the board and maybe Pep Guardiola for if that's going to cost us, that's not Mahrez's fault because that's not Mahrez's game. Mahrez cuts in. He's done that all his career. It's no surprise. We can't start asking him to go down the outside and start putting crosses in with his right foot because if you're going to do that, then you should have bought a right-footed right winger. So I get what you're saying, but that's not his fault. That's the club's fault for not buying a right winger. My view. Guys, massive shout out to the guys at Manscaped. They sponsored today's stream. If you are looking for some products to help get yourself nice clean shaven below the waist, guys, and make it look good for your partner, then check out this ad and buy the products.
Kiwis in the chat.
85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.
Yes. Go check out Manscaped. Use code X20. Free international shipping, and you get 20% off. They have a lot of good things there. They even sell boxes, so go check them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to just stick on Erling Haaland a little bit more before we move on, because obviously, we've spoke about his relationship with Jack Grealish. He has a good relationship with Mahrez. Of course, Mahrez was the one famously who partied with him last summer and told him to join Man City.
Agent Mahrez.
But I'm just wondering about sort of how Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland can link up, and whether or not Kevin De Bruyne will assist that many to Haaland, or whether it'll be more Kevin De Bruyne playing the balls to players like Grealish who then get the assists. If you remember David Silva's assist stats were really, really good. But the amount of times David Silva got an assist to the assister, or pre-assist as people call it, I'm starting to wonder whether or not Kevin De Bruyne's stats this year will not be as good as in previous years, but his overall impact on the game may be better because he's actually getting a lot more pre-assists, because obviously he got one yesterday with Grealish. And I'm just trying to think how, if Erling Haaland's staying central and Kevin De Bruyne is central, then I don't see how he's going to really be able to get that many assists to Erling Haaland. If Kevin De Bruyne starts drifting out wide and puts crosses in, then I see it. I'm starting to think that maybe Kevin De Bruyne is going to start creating the chances for other players to get the assists, a bit like what David Silva used to do.
Well, I think both.
If he stays central,
I think both will go up, because I don't see him sticking to a central role. I don't see Pep saying, right, you got to stay in the middle here. I don't see that happening. Kev likes to drift out wide a lot. He's done it the whole time since he's been here and whip balls in, and I think that will happen. Like, if you see the amount of chances that he created last year, kind of thing, that just led to nothing because we don't have the players there to score the chances, or, do you know what I mean, who fuck it up when they get the ball. It'd be weird for Pep to kind of then go, yeah, well, don't do that anymore because we've got Erling Haaland now who would finish them chances, but we're going to do it differently. You assist other people. I think both will go up. I think his assist to the assisters, the pre-assists, I think they'll go up definitely, just like last night, and we've seen evidence of that. But I also think he will definitely get assists because he's going to put the ball into the box for Erling Haaland. There's no better player to assist Erling Haaland in the world than Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, the guy can put it on a plate for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got a super chat here for Professional Idiot. Yes, coming in with a 10. Says, Haaland starting and getting a goal is a massively great start. Plus, our academy players are getting more game time and fitting into our team. My knee still hurts from surgery. It's not from surgery. I thought you said you had surgery. My knee still hurts from yesterday up the Blues. Yes. Well, at least you didn't have to have surgery. And, stop watching City when you're riding your bike.
Yeah, don't be doing that.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I'm just interested to see what happens with Kevin De Bruyne, because I remember obviously back in the day when David Silva used to get all them pre-assists. He used to play the ball to the left-hand side, so either a Sane or a Kolarov or a Clichy, just whip the ball in and Aguero would tap it in. Or on the right-hand side, he'd play that ball down the channel for Mika Richards or Zabaleta, who then put the ball in. I'm just thinking, the way that we're going to sort of just dominate the ball and real squeeze teams in it, if he is more central and not crossing it in, he's sort of going to become more of like an architect of the goal rather than sort of the assister. But
I still think he'll drift wide, though. I don't think he'll stay central. He will be central a lot. I just think he will drift wide. Just with the way that we play, he will drift wide. It's very fluid, isn't it? So we'll see situations where he's whipping the ball in.
Joseph, yes, with the 5, he says, don't be scared of my last name, LB. It's pronounced Osei Bonso. Osei Bonso, okay. I will forget that next time you do a super chat, bro, but I will try and pronounce it next time, bro. Thanks a lot for the donation. Erling Haaland then. I mean, he played 45 minutes. One thing I want to mention before we move on from Erling Haaland, and I did mention this on the watch-along last night, is how quick the guy is. And, like, his legs don't actually move that quickly. You know what I mean? He's not like a Raheem Sterling where his legs are going... Blah, blah, blah. He's very slow in the way that his legs move, but because his legs are so massive, his stride length is so huge that he's more like a horse in the way that he gallops down the pitch, rather than someone who's just like absolutely rapid and sprinting. And it's sort of like, you look at it and you think, there's no way he's getting this. Oh, he's got the ball, you know what I mean? And it's like, how did he do that? And
the thing is, he's fast, but doesn't look like he should be fast. And the way that he runs is weird. He has this weird, like, presence about him, the way that he runs. His shoulders are always up and his arms are always, like, gangling about. Do you know what I mean? He looks like... He don't look like a fucking footballer anyway, but... It works for him. He's rapid. He's so fast, and I don't get it, innit? I don't get it. I don't understand how he moves that quick. But like you say, it probably is just because of his strides. His legs are massive, bro.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Something that, say, if Sterling was in Bernardo Silva, bro, something that'd take him like 5 steps is probably just one stride for Erling Haaland. He's massive.
And of course as well, and of course, because he's so strong, you can literally just play balls in behind the defence sometimes. It says, go and chase it. And if the centre-back tries to challenge you, then he can just knock him off the ball, as he did with Ruben Diaz in the Champions League. So I'm just super looking for... I think, honestly, counter-attacks this season are going to be interesting to see what happens, because typically over the last few years, our counter-attacks have been non-existent. And I understand why, because we can't really do it. We don't have the pace and we don't have anyone in the box to sort of finish it off. But I'm just wondering this season if we're going to see a material change to the way that we counter-attack. If we get the ball on the edge of our box and we can break, I just wonder if we are actually legit going to break quick and fast and be more direct than we have in the previous years.
This is something that I was going to say. Do you think in that game last night and the other preseason game, personally I think it, but it looks like we're moving the ball a lot faster. The transitional play looked rapid last night. We were very direct in going forward. I don't know whether that's just because it was Bayern and they were pressing us heavy as well, so you can kind of see, do you know what I mean? It was like both teams were going hard, didn't it? Like that probably won't happen against someone who's going to put like Chelsea, who's going to put all the men behind the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be more difficult to do it in
it did appear,
but it looks like we're moving rapid.
Yeah, it did appear to be a bit quicker than usual. However, you did mention a good point there, in that Bayern were pressing us heavy. So if you beat the press, then you kind of don't want to just sit about anyway.
You're pouncing it.
And realistically, how many teams are actually going to press us like that in the Premier League? So even if a team does press us a little bit, are they going to press us as much as Bayern Munich did? Probably not. And therefore, are we going to attack and counter-attack as quickly as we did last night? I don't know. But it is something that did happen last night, and therefore it could be something that, like, you know, is a legit thing. You know, we could be looking at a situation where we are now going to start counter-attacking a lot quicker. Maybe just something to keep our eye on. Obviously, Liverpool's coming up at the weekend, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly we counter-attack there. But again, that's Liverpool. That's not every single Premier League team. So, but it is something to keep our eye on. But guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. We're currently on 338 likes, 900 people in the stream. Let's see if we can get those likes up to 400 people, guys. So please drop a thumbs up on the stream if you've not done so already. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel as well. Link with the buttons below us, that red button. And if you want to become an Xtra Club member, you can do. Cronenberg's just upgraded to a tier 2. Thank you very much, buddy. Beautiful South with a 2 says, where does Grealish go if Foden plays left wing? I think Foden or Grealish might get a little bit of a run out in the attacking midfield positions this year in preparation for next season when Bernardo and Gundogan are possible to leave.
I also think there's a shout, and some people mentioned it before in the chat, but I think Foden might get a bit of time on the right wing as well. He does that for England quite a bit. We've seen last season him and whoever would be the right winger would sometimes switch over. So you might see a little bit of Phil Foden on the right winger then. So you know what I mean? It's very plausible to have a front three of Grealish, Haaland, Foden.
Yeah.
That's very plausible. So you know what I mean? And like you say, you could have Grealish, Mahrez, Haaland, and then Foden can be in the mid. Do you know what I mean? Like in that kind of role. So
yeah, so I do think that you're going to see Grealish and Foden play slightly different positions, not just on the left wing. But again, time will tell. Joseph again with the 5 says, Big Steve, Asan have all echoed that we're going to start slowly here once again, but I think we're in for a blistering start. It'll shock the league. You know what? You could be right, Joseph. You could be right on this. You know, everyone's, including myself, is like, we've only played 2 pre-season games, equals really bad start. But and this is why I said before, is it quality over quantity? You look at the amount of games that West Ham have played. They played 7, but look at the quality of the opposition. We're playing Bayern Munich, really, really tough game, where a lot of the lads played a lot of minutes, and then we're going to play Liverpool, which I think will probably happen again. A lot of the lads will play a lot of minutes, and maybe it will actually just be the quality of the matches and the intensity of the matches over the quantity. Like West Ham are playing Ipswich, Servette, Boreham Wood, Reading. Like realistically, how much energy are they going to, how much match fitness are they going to extract from that match?
Yeah, and how much will that test your players?
Yeah.
I mean, because we've just gone against a full strength Bayern side as well. Like you said in the stream yesterday, Bayern have got their version of the Community Shield next week as well, and they've only had 2 pre-season games. So that game for them was a real. That's why I think both teams went with a very strong 11 because it's basically your first big test before you go into that cup.
I think as well, the game next week against Liverpool will be a big indication of really if we are ready, because obviously Liverpool have played a couple of games as well. They're a good side. They're probably going to play a very strong side as a City. And I think that how we deal with their press, how much we can press them throughout the game before we have to sort of back off and start to tire, that will give us a bit of an indication of whether or not we are actually ready for West Ham. From last night, or this morning as it actually was, we looked decent. We looked like in a good position, but bearing in mind that was only our second game. Play Liverpool, let's assess the situation after that. And at the end of the day, it is what it is anyway. You know what I mean? We can talk as much as we want about this until we blue in the face, but it doesn't really matter because we've only played 2 pre-season games and it ain't going to change. So we just have to hope that we get through this.
The thing is, after Liverpool, then the serious then basically the worry can set in. If we're very far off the pace against Liverpool, then people will be like, oh shit, now we've got West Ham and we're not looking very good.
Yeah.
That's basically the perfect time to talk about it because that's the final assessment before we go into the season.
Yeah, but I would struggle to think we're that far off the pace based on the game last night because...
No, we looked good last night. We looked mint.
Other than if we was all conned, you know what I mean? And maybe City and Bayern were actually not that good and we're just at the same level and they all made us believe that they were at a good level, which I don't think is the case. I don't see how we can go from that sort of energy last night and that performance to suddenly be going, we're well off the pace. So anyway, time will tell. Liverpool will be the one where we get to see what's going on. Some more super chats here, guys. Jake has come in with a 10 and says, Frisco City Blues, that's Dallas, brought 76 members down to the pre-season games. We were singing the whole time. I was lucky to spend 6 minutes with Pep talking footy, philosophies, Twitter, Frisco Sky Blues. Yes, bro, that sounds absolutely sick.
That's sick. Imagine being able to, bro, even 2 minutes of being able to speak to Pep and be mad. 6 minutes talking about football or philosophies with Pep. Mate, you must have been, I bet you're still buzzing now. I'd be buzzing for the rest of the season, me. I mean, that'd be year made, that'd be so sick.
No, that is good. Big Johnny with a 179 says, smart to only play 2 games, less info for our rivals. That is true as well. Craig Bradley with a 5 says, Pep seemed confident of a good start, referencing the Centurions season and having a full pre-season. I personally think we'll have a quick start, says Craig. So a couple of people now coming in saying that they think we're actually going to have a good start. KDB says Haaland versus the fridge this season is going to be interesting. Yeah,
that's going to be an interesting one.
That's obviously talking about Maguire. I think on Saturday, I think Van Dijk versus Haaland. If Haaland does start the game, obviously Alvarez could start. But if it is Haaland versus Van Dijk, I'm going to be really interested to see that battle. You know, 2 physical, strong lads. One a bit more experienced, one clearly more experienced in his 30s versus Haaland in his early 20s. But you know, Haaland will be wanting to get off to a blistering start against Liverpool there, and obviously get our hands on the Community Shield. So yeah, the fridge will be funny, and it'll be good to see how the fridge deals with Erling Haaland. But Van Dijk this Saturday is going to be a really, really interesting test. Cronenberg, yes, member for 20 months, comes in and says, Esbrand and Rico Lewis look really impressive. Our academy fullbacks are promising. Hope to see more of them because the team is light there.
That's true.
Obviously, both had, Esbrand played.
Esbrand had a full sick game, and then Rico Lewis at the end, bro. Imagine he that goal. Oh, imagine he didn't hit the post, bro. What a start that would have been. Do you know what I mean? Like, naming the headlights there. By the way, Jake Papas, who's from Texas, the Frisco Sky Blues, said that he recorded the whole conversation, and he's a coach as well. So like that's sick, that, because you've been a coach as well. You know what I mean? You get to learn quite a bit. I mean, off the best.
Yeah, no, exactly. Guys, we've just hit 400 likes, nearly 1,000 people in the stream. Let's get those likes up, try and get towards 500. So if you've not already done so already, don't cost you a penny. Please just click the thumbs up button. Really helps us a lot. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new, and go check out the sponsor, Manscaped, at manscaped.com. Make sure you're using Xtra 20 for 20% off your entire order, no matter what you order, and free shipping. And then you can use this to get yourself nice and smooth below the waist, guys. I think that we should probably talk a little bit about Esbrand, because he was fantastic yesterday, getting up and down the line. I've said it before, I've seen him a few times in the academy. Really, really impressive. Rico Lewis, equally impressive. Esbrand 19, Rico Lewis 17. And Cronenberg is right. The team is light there. We still don't know what's going on with the Cucurella deal. From all what we're seeing on social media and from the journalists, it appears this deal is just not going ahead at the moment, with a £20 million valuation gap from City's 30 million to Brighton's 50 million. That seems really difficult to overcome. We have been linked with a couple of other left backs in the last week or so, but it is really on the early stages at this point. Pep Guardiola was very, very promising about Esbrand after the game, singing his praises in the interviews, saying Esbrand had a cracking game, we need to keep him injury-free, and he has a really good future at Manchester City. I'm just starting to think, and obviously we have seen today as well that there are now rumours that Esbrand is getting a loan deal elsewhere, which I did mention on the watch-along yesterday. Has Esbrand done enough to convince Pep to stick with him and not go and get a left back for this season? Because he was absolutely phenomenal last night. He was really, really good.
I don't think so.
You think we still need to go in for someone?
I think Pep will go in for someone. I think if it's not Cucurella, it'll be someone else. I think we will sign a left back. I don't think Pep would go in with that. However, I don't think he would. I think if he could stay around our team and train with our team and stuff, I'd like that, because say like one of the left backs get injured, he's first backup there. Do you know what I mean? He's the first backup. Say if we see more of Cancelo playing as a right back and we go get a left back, then you've got basically your two left backs in whoever the new guy is, and Esbrand, Kyle Walker, and Cancelo. So you know what I mean? Four there. I don't think he's done enough to say, you know what I mean? I ain't signing a left back, but I think he'd be a very, very good option to have in around the team, especially with 5 subs.
Well, the transfer window doesn't close until the 1st of September, right? We've obviously got Liverpool coming up this weekend, and then we've got, 5 Premier League games, all winnable games before the transfer window closes, and we've also got Barcelona in a friendly on the 24th of August. Could City say to Esbrand, right, because basically we shouldn't be losing. We shouldn't be losing these games because of a lack of a left back, because we technically already have one in Cancelo. So could City basically say, right, we're going to test you out in some of these games, and when we get to the end of the transfer window, we're going to make a decision. If we think you're good enough based on what we've seen in these games, we're going to stick with you. If not, we'll go into the transfer market and get a signing. Why do we have to make a decision now? Why can't we play him in some of these games first? Because if he plays against Liverpool and does well, or if he plays against Bournemouth or Newcastle, both winnable games, if he plays at Barcelona in a friendly and does well, then, you know, why not just stick with him? Why do we have to make a decision now?
All right, I get that, right? So say we give him that chance, right, and then we go all that way, and then it gets to the end of it, or like towards the end of the transfer window, we realise that he's not it, and we have to go into the market. Then what about if no one else sells to us?
Well, Grimaldo's got 1 year left on his contract, so they're losing him on a free. So say, right, we'll give you 25 million, otherwise you lose him on a free next summer. So,
yeah, but what about in the situation? They just go, yeah, well, we're going to keep him free, yeah. because we can't get a replacement in time because you've left it so late.
I don't think they'd do that.
I think it's very, very, very risky to do that because you're not going to get your first choice left back or anything like that. You're going to basically panic buy a left back.
True, but we're not getting our first choice left back at the moment anyway because Cucurella's not coming.
Well, we don't know he's not coming. Like, it's not done in it. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we don't get Cucurella, could we not say to Esbran, give him some games and come the last week of the season if we don't think he's good? And of course, if we do play him against Liverpool and he flops, and you've still got a month to get a player in. If you got a Benfica, a player who's got a year left on his deal, otherwise they're going to lose him on a free and offer him 25-30 million. They'll snap your hands off for that. See, absolutely.
But I think the club and Pep would rather get a left back in now and get it out the way with, so that we're not at the last bit saying, "Oh, we have to go get Grimaldo," even though he's down on our list. He's not like one of our first options. If if we had Cucurella, Sosa, and then Grimaldo, I think Pep would more likely go, "I'd rather get Cucurella and Sosa done, rather than give Esbran a chance and wait and then have to get Grimaldo."
Yeah, my point is on this though is if we can't get Cucurella, because at the moment it looks like we can't get him because of the fees. Yeah, obviously if we can't get him, then fine.
If we can't get Cucurella though, we'll go for Sosa. Like the Sosa thing's hotting up heavy. So I just don't see a situation where the club had let it go down to the wire and to give Esbran a chance. Esbran can get his chance, and we can sign a left back. Both of them things can happen.
Yeah. I just thought his performance yesterday was so
good.
It
was mint.
I'd risk it, mate. I'd full send Esbran and see what happens. Imar, yes, says Borna Sosa is seeming more likely than Cucurella. Well, this is the thing. Cucurella, to me, I just don't see how this deal gets done. I've said it a lot of times. It just looks dead in the water at the moment unless someone decides to move on it. Borna Sosa, Grimaldo, they're the other two that have been linked with a move to City. Both, apparently, you can get them for 25-30 million. That's Borna Sosa. I think you could probably get Grimaldo for a little bit cheaper because he's only got 1 year left on his deal, but again, it just depends what City want to do. They need to decide what they want to do rapid because what they're going to do with Cucurella? Brighton are not going to sell him for less than 50 mil, so you just need to make a decision on Cucurella or move on.
They need to basically say, right, they need to do this whole add-ons thing. They need to get City. I think City need to offer at least £40 million cash up front, or even £45 million cash up front, and then try and get them add-ons in. Like, we obviously have the money there. We don't know how much money is there to spend, and we don't know the situation with City at the moment. We seem like we're a bit strapped for cash the way we're moving, and it's very clear that we don't want to go and spend a whole £50 million on him. I think, I guess it all depends on. I reckon the board will say to Pep as it gets down to it, and we're sweating on this left back situation. I think they'll say, right, do you want us to full send this, or is Sosa good enough? Because we can get Sosa for £25 million. Is he good enough? And then Pep might just be like, yeah, let's go for it, rather than spending the full 50 million. Because Brighton are playing full hardball, which is why at the moment this is stalled heavily. Because the rumour was weeks ago that as soon as Sterling was done, then it'd be full send for Cucurella. Or it might have even been before Sterling. It might have been when Gabby was done. Anyway, because it's a whole one in, one out system that we've got going at the moment. I think the Cucurella thing basically is just, it's massively stalled. It's massively stalled. And like you say, it's because it's a £20 million difference. And the thing is, if City value him at £30 million and they value him at £50 million, bro, that's a massive difference in a player. Do you know what I mean? £30 million and £50 million. You're basically asking the club to just throw out another £20 million. Just out of fucking nowhere, just going, oh yeah, no worries, here you go. Short change this, £20 million. I don't. It's difficult. I know we've sold players enough to in theory buy these players, but it's just, I think that when the club value a player, we stick to our valuations. Just the same as when Koulibaly, we said no, he's worth £60 million, and then Napoli were like, no, we want 90. And then we ended up walking away from it because it was like, yeah, no, we value him at this, so we're not going to pay any more than this.
Yeah, RCG says Grimaldo is not great. Yeah, I've said this. There
was a Benfica guy in the chat a minute ago and said, I seen his thing, and he said that he can't defend in Portugal. He said he can't defend here in Portugal. He said he wouldn't have a good time in the Prem.
Exactly. So you go get but Borna Sosa, who's played 2 seasons in the Bundesliga. It's still a bit of a risk, that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's risk. There's
never played Champions League. He's played 1 match in the Champions League.
But then at least if Sosa doesn't work, you've got Esbrand.
yeah. I don't know, because I look at the Sosa thing and I think, well, that's for me just as equal a risk as Esbrand. Why is it that that's not a risk? because he's played 2 seasons in the Bundesliga. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. If it was me, Pep, I'd do what he did yesterday. I'd start. You don't need to see Cancelo at left back in this pre-season game. We know what he can do.
We know he's
play
there.
Wilson Esbrand. If Wilson Esbrand plays well against Mo Salah, then we have to seriously consider him as our left back this season. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he has a stinker, then fair dues. I just think at the moment, if we can't get Cucurella in, I'd just wait on this sort of backup left back before I'd wait and see what Wilson Esbrand does before we full send someone like Borna Sosa or Grimaldo. You know what I'm saying? Elizabeth, yes, thanks a lot for upgrading to a tier 2. Appreciate that support. And guys, make sure you smash that like on the stream. We're currently on 478 likes. So close to 500. Over 1,000 people in the stream. Let's get that up to 500 rapid. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And go check out our sponsor, the guys at Manscaped. Now, just a quick one, actually. I messaged Gavin again from the MCFC Reserves and Academy Twitter page. And we might be doing one tomorrow night at about 9 o'clock. I'm going to get that confirmation. And we'll have a lot more in-depth conversation about the Academy players. We'll cover everyone that played in the pre-season and maybe touch on what happened in Croatia with the under-21s there as well, guys. Good. So, yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell because that could be happening tomorrow night, which will be very, very good because then we can have an in-depth more conversation on Esbrand, talk a little bit more about Rico Lewis and Luke Mbete too. So, look, pre-season is over, bro. I mean, it's gone pretty well, hasn't it? You know what I mean? 2 games.
I think, and it's weird because we've not even spoke about him. Like Jack Grealish and stuff, seeing these performances from these players, bro, has made this preseason, albeit only 2 games, 100% worth it. Like, because, bro, I ain't seen no Grealish hate me over the last, like, couple, do you know what I mean, since we've been playing this preseason stuff. So, do you know what I mean? I feel like it was good. It was good. But he's left me wanting more, innit? It's left me wanting more. I need City back now. I need City, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I need it in 2 days' time. Go back to this when we're playing 3 games a week and we're doing 3 watch-alongs a week and me and you are absolutely knackered, then I'd be like, yeah, can we have a break, please? Yeah. But right now, that pre-season for me, albeit only 2 games, it was meant really good to see our boys back. We're looking sharp.
Yeah, we are looking sharp, and yeah, the only thing that I want to see now is Alvarez and Haaland on the pitch at the same time. God. Both are strikers.
Bro, I want a 3-5-2.
Yeah,
I want a free. Even just put Kyle Walker as one of the centre backs just for a little bit of cover. Let's go 3-5-2 and get them 2 in it. It'd be mad.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, guys, let us know in the chat what you're thinking about the pre-season. How would you sum up the pre-season? It is difficult because there's only 2 games, but we have to do it anyway because, you know, we have had a pre-season technically. Obviously, Liverpool coming up. Are we bothered about that? For me, I am bothered about that. A lot of people disrespect the Community Shield, but I don't get why. It's a trophy.
There's only 4 trophies you can win.
Look, you know, at the end of the season, I'm going to be like, buzzing, we won the Community Shield, but it's a trophy. You know what I mean? You're playing against your rivals, so I don't get why people just like, oh, I'm not arsed about it. You know what I mean? Don't watch it then if you're not arsed, but you'll still probably watch it. For me, you're playing against the rivals. You've got early game in the season where you can assess where you are in the league. You're playing against probably the second best team in the world in Liverpool, in my opinion, because I think we're the best team in the world. And, you know, we're going to get to see our new boy Erling Haaland play against a top-class centre-back in Van Dijk. You know what I mean? Our defence is going to be tested. The other boys, Gundogan, John Stones, Foden are going to come back into the game as well. Obviously, they've been with the under-21s. I don't think Laporte is ready yet. So I'm really looking forward to the game against Liverpool. I'm not sure why people disrespect it so much.
I think winning that trophy really sets you up, innit? Do you know what I mean? Because, like, buzzing after you've already, like, do you know what I mean? You played 1 game and already won a trophy, albeit a glorified friendly, like people say, because it's very disrespected. I think that's because it is very early. Do you know what I mean? And there's usually quite a lot of changes. I think when we played against Leicester last year, we had a very changed squad. I think Sammy Dorsey played in that game, didn't he? So that's I feel like people just like kind of throw it out there, but it is a trophy. There's only 4 to win, and I want to win it. You know what I mean? We're a club that used to never win anything. So it'd be nice to, you know what I mean, get it. And it's not like a game that I don't care about. Some people will just be like, oh, I'm not bothered. But I genuinely want to win that game. It's competitive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big Johnny with a 449 says, if we value Cucurella at 30 million with 4 years left on his contract, then he's probably not that key for us, to be honest. I hate the idea of being rinsed by these Prem teams. I've sort of said something similar to that, Johnny.
I think we went in with it like weeks ago, and they were willing to deal with £30 million because that seemed to be the rumours was £30 million you can get Cucurella. And then that price seemed to just go up to 50, and all the journalists were saying that Brighton have upped their price, and I think City feel a bit like, you know what I mean? Why have we done that for? Do you know what I mean? We thought we had a deal, but that's why we don't want to move on our valuation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Joseph, I'll say Bonsu. Yes,
Jose Bonsu, yes.
Says, I don't want that soda kid anywhere near my club. Why sell Zinchenko only to buy a poor man's Zinchenko? No. Well, we do need a left back somewhere. So whether it's him or Borna Sosa or Grimaldo or Esbrand, it's got to be someone because we definitely, unless it's Ake and we get another centre back, which also has been rumoured a little bit.
Oh yeah, Paul Torres.
Yeah. So, but we need someone in there, Joseph.
We definitely need someone in there. Even if it's Esbrand, bro, like you said.
I know.
By the way, did anyone see Zinchenko last night? Did he play? I don't know if he played.
I don't know if he played. No, I'm not sure if he played. KDB says, come on, lads, it isn't a trophy. Well, it is a trophy, bro.
It is a trophy. There's only 4 of them. Yes, it looks like a giant 50p, but it is a trophy.
Yeah. I know it's not like the major one, and you're not asked if you win it that much, but you don't want to lose it. So if you don't want to lose it, it means something. So that's what I've got on it. But I get people's opinions. And Jake as well says, want to see the video of Pep explaining his system. I think the guy's put it on his Twitter.
Yes, I do. Have you put it on your Twitter? I'll watch it after this.
Yeah, he's put it on his Twitter, man. So go check it out on the guy's Twitter account.
Yeah, because I want to see that. That's a cool thing to say.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Right, we need to wrap up here then. So I'm really, really buzzing about the pre-season, the way it's gone. I'm buzzing about Alvarez. He's looking really, really good. The way that he does. I said it yesterday on the stream for those that weren't watching the watch along last night. But for me, he just reminds me of like an Aguero Tevez hybrid player. You know what I mean? He defo runs a little bit like Tevez in that sort of like he's constantly on the top of you. But I think he's got a bit of a cleaner strike than Tevez and more sort of similar to a Sergio Aguero in the way that he kicks the ball. Now, if you said to someone, we can get someone who's a Tevez and Aguero hybrid, I think you'd be pretty excited. So for me, I'm prepared to give him some time because he's come from a different continent. He doesn't speak the language. You know what I mean? He's going to take him a little bit of time to settle in, understand the tactics and understand English football. But I think once he gets that understanding of the way that the game's played in this country and the management and stuff, I think that we could be in for a serious player in Alvarez. Haaland, obviously, mega. I'm buzzing to see more of Phillips. I am quite surprised that we didn't see more of Phillips in the midfield. Maybe we'll see him start against Liverpool or have the last 30 minutes against Liverpool or something. I think we need to see him as a lone CDM, in my opinion, against a good side to see how he gets on, because that will happen at some point in the season. Rodri will get suspended or he'll get injured, and we will rely on Calvin Phillips to play in that lone CDM position, and we need to know how good he is. He needs to get in there and have some practice. So that's the sort of only thing that I'm looking for now going forward is, one, the left back situation, when that needs clarification, and two, I kind of want to see Calvin Phillips in that CDM position on his own just to see how he gets on.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that we have the option of playing both. I think Pep's, like you said yesterday, that in the Champions League, something we might run with CDMs, with 2 of them in there. So it's good that we do have that option. Alvarez is super exciting. I can't wait for him to properly start driving and kicking into it and stuff. If someone would have said to me, you're going to get a Tevez / Aguero regen, I'd bite your hand off. Tevez is one of my favourite City players. He was absolutely incredible at City. And if you'd say to me, here you go, here's another one, throw him in, I'd be absolutely, you know what I mean? I'd bite your hand off for that. So that's why Alvarez, hopefully he can live up to the potential that he's got. And it's exciting. It's exciting times at City. And this pre-season has kind of shown glimpses of what's to come in this in the season ahead. So that's bro, it's just mint, bro. Life as a City fan right now is mint. Like I say, the only thing I can say is left back situation needs clarification. Other than that, I mean, it's exciting times, bro. Every single Premier League game, I'm gonna be like, I can't wait to see how these players do against these guys.
Yeah,
it's like a fresh squad.
It's completely different because we've not played with a striker for the last 2 years. It's exciting.
And Jack Grealish could be a new signing.
Yeah, Jack Grealish could be a new signing. Alvarez, we all forgot about Alvarez. You know what I mean? We signed him in January, but he's now here. He's a new signing. Haaland, you know what I mean? Phillips might be getting a left back in. Super exciting. KDB with a 449 says FA Cup, League Cup, Premier League, and Champions League quadruple incoming. A big statement there from KDB. Well,
imagine that. That's winning absolutely everything you could possibly win.
Yeah.
And to do that, you have to win the Community Shield.
Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. We'll leave you with the Manscaped ad, guys. Make sure you get the Kiwis out in the chat. We'll be back tomorrow with 2 streams. Hopefully, you have a good night. See you later.
See you in a bit.
85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.